Welcome to another hot and spicy episode of your favorite TV program, Make Your Food Your Medicine. My name is Eforiro, your kitchen instructor, food as medicine specialist, and author of the fast-selling book, Make Your Food Your Medicine. In this one-of-a-kind culinary show, our aim is to promote healthy living through healthy eating. Today on the program, we are going to show you something very exciting. Last week on this program, we made coconut rice and then we extracted coconut juice and milk from the coconut meat itself. Now, after we extracted that, we got some coconut chaff of which we dried, and then we have it ready today, and we're going to use it as part of the ingredients for the recipe we're making today. So stay tuned, do not go anywhere. Call your family members, call your neighbors, tell your friends about this channel so they can tune in right now, because you're about to learn something new. Okay, so let's go right into the kitchen. Here we have our pots we're going to be cooking with. So we're going to do two things right away. So here we have two pots on the fire. So that's the second pot. So for this pot, we want to steam our fish. Today we are using smoked egg fish, or popularly known in the West as panla, eja panla egun. Yeah, so this is it. So this is, before deboning the fish like this, we soaked in hot water with salt for about 20 minutes before we debone like this. So I'm just going to turn this into the pot, and then because it's already washed already, I'll turn it into the pot. Then I'll add onions, add salt, and allow to cook until the fish is tender enough and ready for cooking. So there we have this. So I'm going to just add salt to this. And I'm just going to leave it on the fire till it's tender and ready for cooking. While this is going on, another thing I'm going to do is to continue to make my sauce for the very special vegetable we're making today. So we are making Eforiro in a unique way. So we have the dry pot on the fire already while we're waiting for the fish to cook. Remember, I keep talking about multitasking and making good use of your time in the kitchen. So here is me trying to do that. So here I have the palm oil, about 1 cooking spoon of palm oil for this recipe, and then we allow it heat for about 30 seconds to a minute. So here we have the onions. I'm putting that into the pot. Then I'm going to stir. So while that is going on, I'll use that time to wash my Iru. This is Iru, also known as locust beans, fermented locust beans. So I'm going to wash that and put in the pot. So I'll just stir this again, and I will allow this to fry for 1 to 2 minutes, and then I'll add my pepper mix to it. So our pepper mix here is made up of bell pepper, red bell pepper, habanero pepper, and then tomatoes, and of course onions. There's something about onions, of course onions. So this is coarsely blended. It depends on how you like it. Some people like to blend it smooth. So if some people also like to blend it roughly. I love to blend it roughly, and that's what I have done today. So I'm going to just add this into the cooking pot, and then we'll leave this. You see what it looks like already. So we're going to leave this and allow to cook. Some recipes of Eforiro mixed vegetable we usually not have tomatoes in the pepper mix, but I added this for 2 reasons. One, if you know you don't like your food very spicy, there is no problem, you can add it. Another thing is tomato also serves as a sweetener. So adding it to this recipe, considering that we are not using artificial food spices and ingredients, it will help us achieve the kind of taste we want to achieve. So I'm just going to allow this stay on the fire and then cook long enough for the pepper to become dry. When that happens, the oil will be flowing, and then we would know. So here you have the fish. The fish is cooking very fast and very well as well. So we're going to leave it to cook till this is tender, while we allow this also continue to cook. And this too will take place for about 5 minutes. But don't go anywhere. I'm about to show you something else. So in the last episode, we made coconut milk and coconut juice from the coconut meat. And then after doing that, we got this chaff. So we sun dried this chaff, which is what you're seeing. Now this chaff is looking very white because before we grated or blended the coconut, we already had peeled the brown skin. If you had added the brown skin when you were blending or grating your coconut, it would not look this clean and white. Now there's nothing wrong with leaving the skin. I only remove the skin so it will look more appealing to my viewers. So you see what it looks like. It looks very white and then very light. If you can listen very closely, you hear the sound. It sounds like flakes because it's really dry and it's actually this is very, very rich in fiber and very extremely low in fat and calories. So for anyone looking out at eating healthy swallow, you don't want the kind of swallow that is filled with fat and cholesterol, or you're watching your weight, or you're just particular about eating healthy, this is a good swallow choice for you. Now, because this does not have gluten, you would notice that it's not going to be firm when we make the swallow. And that's why we have oats to support it. Oats is also very rich in fiber, iron, and protein. And we have made oat swallow on this program before. So today we're going to add a little bit of oat swallow to the coconut chaff, and then we'll combine this together and come up with the swallow we're using for this Eforiro. So don't go anywhere. More interesting things would happen in the show today. Call your friends, call your neighbors to join you. Okay, so we have the 2 pots on the fire. You see what I have here? 2 beautiful tantalizing looking pots. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the water in the fish to dry up. As soon as it does, I'll transfer the fish into this pot so it will cook together with all the other vegetables in it. But until then, let's go ahead and make our coconut chaff swallow. So here we have it. So that we can achieve a fine texture, we're going to blend the chaff. So there you have it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here we have it, the coconut chaff already blended now in the blender. So we're going to pour into the sieve. So this is a sieve, and this is just going to help us sieve it because we want a very fine texture to work with. Okay, so while this, I want to check the fish. The fish is dry. You can see this, the fish is dry. So I'm just going to transfer the fish into this pot. Okay, so here we have it. Just going to transfer the content into this pot. Yeah. Okay. Take to the bottom so it cooks alongside the other vegetables. This is already looking attractive. So at this point you can add your okpe. This okpe is also fermented locust beans, processed differently because this is processed mainly from Kogi State. This one I have here we got from Kogi State, Nigeria, and we're going to add that. It actually gives, because of the process of production, the flavor it gives is also different from the flavor Iru would give. So that's why we use a combination of the two. So both of them would bring out their unique flavor into the dish. So we're going to allow this continue on the fire for a few minutes while we sort out the blended coconut powder. Okay, so here we have the coconut chaff after blending and sieving. So the next thing we're going to do is to blend our oatmeal that we're going to mix with it to achieve oat swallow. So this is your regular oatmeal. You have oatmeal at home. Of course, that's what I have here, your very regular oatmeal. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is ready. So here you have your oatmeal blended into powder, ready for your swallow. And we're going to combine this with the coconut flour to achieve the swallow that we want. But before we go ahead to do that, I just want to show us this. So this is the vegetable we're going to add into the pot of soup, and then this is Eforiro, also known as Lagos spinach, very popular in western Nigeria. A lot of people love it. So what I'm doing, I'm blanching the leaf. I want it to become very tender and then succulent and easy to consume. So when I do this, it's going to become very, very tender, and then I will stir and mix in the pot of soup already. So here you have that's the Eforiro, very healthy, rich in vitamins, rich in minerals, very popular, grown all over the countries. You have it in other countries like Asia, America. You see it a lot in Mexico, but it is known for its medicinal value. The seeds, if you know this leaf very well, I'm sure you know that it has this pink, purple looking flower. The flowers are healthy, they are medicinal, the seeds are healthy, the stems are healthy, the leaves itself are healthy. It is very rich in vitamins, protein, and then very useful for digestive health. So here we have the Eforiro. If you do this, you see that at this point the leaf has become really, really tender. I'm not going to dip my hands because the water is quite hot. So the leaves have become very, very tender. So I'm going to sieve this. If you don't do this to your Eforiro, when you add it into your soup, it's going to bring out a lot of water and it's going to make your soup look a bit watery. So you need to do this as well. So here I have the leaf, and I'm just going to sieve into a bowl. Let me sieve into this. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to put it under running water so it gets a bit cold, so I can dip my hands without getting hot. So you can also attempt to squeeze. You can attempt to squeeze it a bit, just like what I'm doing right now. Attempt to squeeze vigorously. Okay. So here we have our leaf. Okay, so we have this pot on the fire. You see what it's looking like right now. We're going to add our fish mix, our blended fish mix. Depends on the quantity you want. And then we're going to add our Himalayan pink salt for its many health benefits. So here we have our leaves, and we're just going to turn into the pot. No wastage. So here you go. I'll stir very well, allow everything mix properly. After that, I'll allow it to cook for about a minute. Then I'll bring down my pot. I always tell us that it's important, whenever we're cooking vegetable, to endeavor to bring down the pot very quickly. Don't cook your vegetables for too long, because if you do so, you're losing very useful nutrients, and you don't want that. So I'm moving this pot, and then I'm just going to show us how I'll make my swallow. I'm not going to make so much. So I have this. I have the oat powder. So I'm going to pour this first into the pot. This is hot water I'm using. I'm just going to keep pouring until it's thick enough. And then at this point, I can stop so I can make space for the coconut powder as well. So I'm adding this. So here we have our coconut chaff. Okay, so I've achieved the texture I like to have. Not too hard and not too soft. So I'm just going to add very little water. Very little. Just about 2 tablespoons. Then cover my pot and allow it simmer for a minute or two. Then my swallow is ready. But while this is happening, let me have a look at my soup. Whoa! Who says you can't eat right and eat tasty meals? Who says you can't have tasty meals when you try to eat right? That's not true. So here you have a pot of tasty meal, at the same time a pot of healthy meal. If you don't take care of your body, where will you live? That's why I keep saying, the same way you pay attention to the kind of school your children attend, the same way you pay attention to the kind of clothes you wear, the places you go to, say you should pay attention to what enters into your mouth. Because if you don't take care of your body, where will you live?